So practically, someone just broke into my place, tried to rob my house at 2 a.m. in the morning while I was sleeping. And I'm going to talk about this incident in this video. Side note, this is not my story, it's my friend's story. This happened to her a few weeks ago, and she chose to be anonymous. And I'm going to narrate this story in first person. So you'll hear me saying I, me, and my situation. So yeah. It was a Thursday night. I was too tired after the work. I had to walk almost all the way. Usually I take a bus returning, but that day I missed the bus and I had to walk all the way, dragging my feet while my brain is exhausted for the day. And after coming home, I just plopped onto my bed. Just lied down and scrolled Instagram for half an hour or two. That's my silver lining of the day after non-stop work. There was like a whole bunch of pile of clothes on my bed, chair, desk, and the whole house was just scattered with things. And yeah, which I made the mess. After some Instagram session, I hopped into the shower, cleaned myself up. Coming back, I had no mood to clean up the house. I just got my pajamas on very quickly, hopped onto my bed again. And yeah, the first thing came to my mind after I lied on the bed, I had to call my mom. She called in the evening and I was in the hurry that time. So I tried to get back to her this time. I didn't even make dinner that day. I ate some snacks in the office, a few samosas, and that was enough for me to survive the day. I live alone, so there was no one I had to mend to. 2 a.m. rolls up, and I'm just in the bed with my blankets on, trying to sleep. But for some reason, there was just so many thoughts in my head that I couldn't ignore. I was just, yeah, my eyes are tired, but my brain is not. So I tried to listening for some music. I had my earphones on and listening to soft music to help me sleep. I had my earphones on that I didn't even notice there was someone in the house. At first I thought it was just something from the music I was listening to in very low voice. So I tried to ignore it, but I was still cautious. Just tightened my grip on my blanket and was just listening. Then after a few seconds, there was some more noise. It felt like someone just knocked their feet onto something on the floor. Like the whole house is a mess. That can happen. At this moment, I completely froze. The voice seemed to be coming from hall or the living room. And I was sleeping in the bedroom. My bedroom is like in the corner of the house. The door is in the corner. So it doesn't look like it's a bedroom. So maybe he just went past through it. I was starting to panic. I didn't know what to do. The only things that came to my mind was either lock the bedroom door and take something to protect yourself. Slowly rising from my bed, I took the pen from the side of my bag. That was the only thing I could think that could protect myself, and tiptoed to like the corner of the bedroom. And this time along, it was silent, like for a minute. I couldn't hear any noise. So I tried to peep through the door. And that's when I saw a shadow. Okay, I thought the things are getting real. There is definitely someone in the house. This is not my imagination. It seemed like he was moving very slow, looking here and there, being very cautious. I did thought of calling someone. I grabbed my phone and thought of calling my dad, but my mind was blank. What do I tell him? How do I tell him? Is he even awake at this hour? Then I thought of calling the police. But seriously, I was just so cold from inside, just freezed in my paths. What do I tell them? What's my address? Where even I am? And how do I even talk without making any noise? What if he just walks in the room while I get a chance to do nothing? So the dad's number on my speed dial. I gripped the phone, sat there in the corner. And that's when I hear some more voice. It now sounded like it came from the kitchen. It sounded like he was on a call. There was only one voice. There was no second. I concluded it was a call. Seriously, he was on a call in someone else's house at the middle of the night while he's robbing. Anyways, I saw my chance. I peeped through the door, knowing if he's in the kitchen, he won't be able to see me peeping. I leaped and I tried to escape. There's a hallway between the bedroom door and the front door, and it's kinda straight. So I just got up, ran straight to the door, and ran down. There was no thought in my mind, just escaping and survival. No care about the stuffs in my house, no nothing. Maybe he heard me go, maybe he heard something move from the house. I don't know what happened. I came down, tried searching for my bike, like the scooty bike, and I couldn't ride it. I don't have my keys. The keys are in the house. I looked everywhere. There were two cycles leaning by the pillar, probably of neighborhood children. I took one and I cycled my way to my friend's house. It was the only thing I think of in the moment. It took like 10 minutes to reach by cycle. She was worried for me. Here I am in the middle of the night knocking at her doors like manically. She took me in, calmed me down, and asked a couple of questions. Well, the questions I don't even know how I answered. Stuttering, muttering, whatever. Then I called the police, told them about the situation. They asked me for my address and where I was at that time. Then I called my dad, which he didn't pick up the first time. Of course, it is the midnight. Yeah, he did the second time. And he was so panicked. He was ready to leave the place and come to where I was at that time of the hour, which, mind you, is like 3 hours by bus. But yeah, after calming down, knowing that I'm in the safe place right now, he said he would leave the house first thing in the morning at early dawn. I could hear my mom in the call trying to ask like a bunch of questions, trying to get a grasp of it. At the same time, comforting me. The police said later in the day that when they got there was no one in the house. Which is they got there in the night itself, but I personally don't know how long it took them. They said the house was a mess. They could see the light footprints of shoes, like the dust prints. And from the CCTV footage, they could see a man entering the floor. And after a while, me leaving the floor running barefooted. The footage itself is so grainy. You could barely make out that there is someone, let alone who that is. Maybe he took advantage of that thing. Or maybe he was just so drunk, he didn't think anything through. Just the fact that he wanted to rob a house. What other explanation would you give of someone who tried to rob a house in a society with cameras? Also, the fact that I was so tired that day, I didn't even notice I haven't locked my door. Yeah, don't do that. So yeah, that's about it about this incident. These are the things she told me personally. And yeah, she did give me permission to make a video about it. Stay safe out there. And make sure you lock your door every time before you sleep or every time you enter the house. That's all I can say. You can even submit your stories in the link below, like maybe in the description, and I can cover them in a video. Also, don't forget to like, share, and comment. It helps me and this channel. For more story times, just hang in there with me, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.